Greetings, Patrick here. Welcome to Mark Polonia Film Week. It's our second semi-annual week at looking at some of Mark Polonia's films. He is appearing as a guest on Grossfest on August 1st and 2nd, and I thought I'd go ahead and throw together five reviews before Grossfest to celebrate Mark Polonia. So far, we've done two films. And you can check them out. They're listed, and this is our third one. And the movie that we'll be talking about today is Once Upon a Time in Amityville, which came out in 2024. So I got to say this right off the bat. This isn't half bad. I really like this movie. Actually, I thought it was one of those movies where you just wish the filmmaker, in this case Mark, you just wish he had just a little bit more money, just a little bit, because this is interesting too. This is actually my second weird Western that I'm reviewing this week, as I have reviewed Ghost of Mars, and which is considered a weird Western, and so is this one actually, supernatural horror, so to speak. And it's set in 1846, and it concerns two bounty hunters, played by our Polonia Pals, the usual suspects, so to speak. Titus Himmelberger plays Miles Oakley, and Ken Van Zant plays Carson Weaver, and they're a pair of bounty hunters, and they are after this guy named Matthias Black, who stole $100,000 from a bank. So they're on his ass. So first, though, we do meet Matthias. He's out by himself, and lo and behold, he sees some weird stuff going on. And next thing you know, he is being chased by some weird entity, and he's not having a very good time of it. And then we flash forward to meeting Carson and Miles as they ride into a town. And the town is Amityville, population 37. While this film is set in 1846, it doesn't necessarily say where it's located at. Well, obviously we know now that it was located, it has to be in New York, right? Since that's where Amityville is located. They never tell you these things in on all these Amityville movies. They always mention Amityville, but they never, where they filmed some of the films, it could be in a mountain, it could be on the beach, it could be on an island, but they never tell you that Amityville, the original Amityville, was set in New York. Obviously, Miles and Carson are not in New York. They're out in the West somewhere. So they ride on up to the small town, and it's a legitimate looks like a legitimate park, or because they had old buildings out there. It looks legit. It's a legitimate site. There's no blue screen or green screen. They're shooting on location. I'm not sure if it's a ghost town. It looks sort of ghost townish. So that only adds atmosphere to this movie. And so they ride in, and they notice that even though the size is Amityville population 37, they basically ride inside of a ghost town. And they're going like, well, where are all the people at? They're supposed to be 37. We think we hear somebody somewhere. But they don't. They only end up meeting 4 other people in the town. The guy who runs the place, Mr. Malcolm, played by our director, Mark Polonia. We have the lady who runs the store, Angela Barnes, played by Natalie Himmelberger, Titus's wife. We also meet Regis Canterbury, played by Jeff Kirkendall. And then, of course, what Mark Polonia movie would be complete without Tim Hatch, who plays Jed Rexford? So the boys ride up, and they just can't find anybody. They walk around. They leave their horses behind. They look around. It's like it's supposed to be a lumber town, but the saw's quiet, and there's nobody around. And They finally stumble across somebody going like, well, what's going on? Where is everybody? And they're going like, well, the people went out to another town to get supplies and whatnot. So, and they said, well, is there a place for us to stay? And he recommends them, Regis recommends them that they can go over and stay with Angela. So she goes over there and gets them, to get a meal in a room. But they're just noticing how weird it is. There's just nobody here. And they ask the people around about, the four people they meet. They end up asking them about, have you seen Matthias Black? He's the notorious outlaw. And then we start seeing some weird imagery. There's just all sorts of spirits, and there's looks like headlights, but you don't know what they are. There's like a superimposed evil spirit, and then there looks to be some sort of flying creature. Now, normally this is the time I would sit there and tell you, oh brother, but honestly, after watching this movie, I really felt sort of bad, because I'm going like, man, because I see where Mark was going with this. This movie has some promise. If it would have had just a little bit more special effects, it had a good story to it. The acting was way better than normal. They it seemed like once Mark put Titus and Ken Van Zant on horses, man, their acting just elevated. I mean, they look like they were having fun. I said that last movie we talked about too, but this time not only were they having fun, but they were putting some energy into the characters. There just wasn't just, okay, here we are again doing another. No, they played Carson and Miles, and I was really impressed with that, because that is the hook when you play and when you act in some of these movies. It's really hard to get up creativity wise, because there's just nothing there for you, right? There's just nothing really there. There's no energy. I don't want to say it's just whole hum when we're doing another one of these. No, because I think Mark actually, he put some energy into this too, in his direction, and I think it really helped too that some of the writing was. It says, co-written by Mark Polonia, but there's also it's also written by Aaron Drake. I don't know if those two wrote it together or what have you, but I do know there was some energy put into the script, and it did raise the acting up a little bit, and shooting on location, shooting on a new location, at least for me, because I've never seen this set in any of Mark's movies. It just bumped it up a little bit. It really did. But again, the lack of effects will probably make a lot of people just laugh, and that's a real shame. That's a real shame, because Polonia fans will get it. They'll okay. So I like Mark's movies. They're goofy, but they're fun. I like the people in them, and I've actually heard a lot of them talk about their films, listening to the House of Horrors podcast. So I got to talk to some of these people, not me personally, but I got to see them talk with the host of the podcast, Stephen Flug, and you hear them explain why they like doing what they do, and in this movie they show some real energy here. So the boys are looking around, and then they what they don't know is that the four people, they had basically sold their souls to the devil. And the 30 out of the 37 people, they have massacred 33 of them. Actually 34, because they also killed Matthias. So things are not looking good. And when the boys suddenly find themselves stranded because their horses have not only gone missing, but they've been slaughtered as well. Well, now these two guys, Miles and Carson, they're in some deep boo, and they're gonna have to figure out what to do. And it doesn't help that they start seeing these entities in the sky, and so the two they don't know really what to do other than try to face it the best they can. So they go ahead and take on the four possessed, and into a final showdown. Um, yeah, like I said before, I was surprised. Um, I was surprised. I was surprised how, in fact, it got to be so where the effects, such as they were distracting to the movie, because you keep seeing them and you're going like, damn, and all for one of another $10,000 to $15,000. You could have made a good movie. This could have been like another Return to Splatter Farm level of movie, which is the best movie that I've seen Mark Polonia make. And that's a really good movie. That's a really good movie. And I would definitely say that Once Upon a Time in Amityville, it's not that far behind it, for the better effects. Um, I know, right? You guys are gonna all looking at me going like, dude, is he praising this movie? I am. This movie came out on Wild Eye. So the first movie we reviewed, Mummy Shark, came out from Wild Eye. The second movie we reviewed, of course, also that was from SRS. And this one here, Once Upon a Time in Amityville, also reviewed by SRS Releasing. For the fourth film, which will be coming up here shortly, the next day, is by request. That's right. Someone saw that we're doing Mark Polonia Week, and they made a request for a review. So we will be watching and reviewing Saurians next, which is a kaiju movie, and it's I have no idea what it is. I have no idea other than Mark Polonia made it, and it looks like there's a picture of a dinosaur on there. We're all in. So we will see you for the next time here on Mark Polonia Film Week. And yeah, drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the movie. Like I said before, and yes, it's on tape here. It's on video. I am recommending Once Upon a Time in Amityville. I think it's worth the watch, definitely. And we're hoping that the level stays high for the last two films. We would like to have a lot of fun for the last two films. So off we go. And yes. Oh, who asked for the recommendation that we watch Saurians? Why, none other than our good friend Mighty Casey, Interweb Kaiju, who I think is actually a closet Mark Polonia fan. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. There's room in that closet for a lot of people too. All right. Well, that's it. If you're new to the channel, drop a comment down below. Let us know what you think of the review. Let us know what you think of the films. Drop down your favorite Polonia film or not. Also, remember, if you're going to Grossfest over in Pittsburgh this year, Tom and Tim Gross have Mark Polonia as their very special guest. There will also be several Polonia Pals there as well. So head on over there and check that out. Support the local boys as they are hosting Grossfest for 2 days, August 1st and 2nd. Not too bad. All right, that's it for us. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon. Peace.